Okay, yeah, I mean, actually after today, I basically would have to kind of like just not comment much further because then that is the work that you are producing, you see, so we cannot really keep on harping on the same issues, okay? We need to let you have some free hands in this also, huh? So you're defining construction industry, homes, yeah, I mean, like references, very important. Check through your references and make sure that your references, when you have it up here, you must have it in the references list as well. If not, there are lecturers, many lecturers, including myself, we do have the habit of checking the references all the way back to the actual references, you see. So you better be careful. So yeah, so this is construction is a large business. It does work like this, and then so it contributes to a large portion of the GDP, and due to its size, okay, whether so they usually take a long time to build. Mm. You see, Hood, this overview, all the informations are there. It's nice to have it all day, but can you please be a bit more flow, make it better? Because you are like, first you talk about it engage in this sort of business, that's fine. And then you talk about that it contributes to the GDP. And then you talk about economic growth. Okay, then it said it's very significant, it's a backbone of infrastructure, blah, blah, blah. And then you talk about something else again, all the way off to somewhere else, and then two sectors again, and then back again to the economic growth. You see, so this one here, why can't you just finish talking about the economic growth totally first? Okay.
Okay.
So if you really want, please look into the whole section now. You have to talk about the issues that you need to talk about first, you see. So if it's like, okay, this construction industry is a branch, what kind of business it is, it's repair structures, it does buildings, and then you find the paragraph that deals with all this infrastructure, producing goods and infrastructure. This one should come first,
Okay.
You should join it with all the things that you say. Okay, you're talking about the industry as a business. What does it build? Then it builds all roads, and all that. Chapter one. I mean, paragraph 1 and 2 is about that. Then don't jump to talking about economic growth and then back to what is going to be building again.
Okay, okay.
You see here, you said that, because it's significant, it produce products and services. That is like going back to the original thing again, you see, after you talk about economic growth. So then infrastructure, through building activities, these are actually all related more to the what type of building, what type of project that it does, you see.
Okay, doctor.
Okay, and then after that, you can say that, okay, this is the nature of its business, and then you can talk about economic reason if you want to. So all this about GDP, about how big it contributes to the economic growth, and then you talk about GDP again here, you see?
Yeah.
You get what I mean? You're hopping around.
Yes,
And then
yes.
that is this here also sectors, general constructions and planning. Isn't this the same as this thing on the top here?
Yes, yeah.
So you should rearrange the paragraph nicely. Don't hop up here and there, okay? Basically, what you need to do is to tell us that it is an important industry. I mean, this is the industry, it builds this sort of things, it does a lot of business, and all this business will contribute to the economy, you see? And then you talk more about the nature of its business, such as the fact that all construction projects, I don't know, you should find something that I don't think you talk about it here. You should talk about like what is it like the project? I think that there's a part that you talk about how a vast, complex, diverse enterprise. This one, maybe you can be a bit later, like you finish talking about what this industry is all about and how it contributes to the economic growth. And then you talk about the project itself, okay? So before you move into this section, you must talk about projects. You see, what is project? Project is what the business that it does is projects, and then it is a vast, complex, and then
Okay.
it involves multidisciplinary, you talk about construction project, and therefore this paragraph should make us think that it is a very important to manage project, you see. I mean, like,
Yes.
yeah, I don't know. I don't really know why you want to talk about project manager. This is not a project manager kind of roles and responsibility kind of thing. You see, you're talking about time and yours is also a time and risk, isn't it? So what you really want to point out is that this is a risky business. This is a big business, and therefore this is all the project needs to be managed. You see?
Okay.
Yeah, you understand, huh?
Yes, yes.
Don't make me repeat this again and again. It's already week 10, I mean, like, we started this much, much, much earlier before you even finish your LI. And then you can't even give me a proper literature review. There's something very wrong here, you see. So, I mean, these thought processes is there. All your work are there. I mean, I'm happy with the fact that you found out so many things, you see. But how come you're not arranging it properly, you see?
Okay, doctor.
I mean, the main point is your literature review number 1. After your construction industries review, you should talk about projects and how projects are so complicated. It involves so many people, and therefore either you want to talk about risk first or you want to talk about time first, you see? So
Okay.
then you talk about project, and then project objective is what? Time, cost, quality, you see? Project needs to be managed. There's so many components, so many complicated components. It needs to be, the result here is it needs to be managed, okay?
Okay, doctor.
Then you better talk about management, okay? So, okay, right. So here you do have about how, don't talk about project manager, yeah? So talk about, okay, if this is a thing that you're talking about here, then you have to really end up here talking about the project being complicated and all that, and then it needs to be managed, and then you go and talk about, here you don't want to go back and talk about the same thing. So either you move this thing up and then straight away talk about project management. So all project needs to be managed. And what do you mean by project management? Okay.
Okay, doctor.
All right. So this one here, like yeah, all these multidisciplinary workforce, all these things, I think you should be talking about. I don't know, I mean, it's very difficult to read your thing, because you see, construction is unique, and this is the thing that I want to see here, you see, up here somewhere. And then you talk about the group unpredictability, and then suddenly project management. You see, so why talk about project management now suddenly, So project management, when you talk about the section of project management, then it should be project management. Don't talk about project manager. I mean, like, what is this for, It's wasting time. It's filling up pages. You see, are all these about project manager? Why? Why suddenly you're so interested in being a project manager? Huh? I want you to talk about project management, okay? Project management. How do you want to manage project? You see?
Okay.
So, project management. So these projects are complicated. They are so multidisciplinary. It needs to be managed. So what is project management? What does it do? Okay, and then what is the role of project management in project? What is the objective of project management? Time, cost, quality. All these things are important. Don't talk about project manager, okay? And then suddenly you move into issues. There's no reason for that. So you should talk about maybe, okay, some of the tools, what is there to manage? Okay, so you talk about what is there, what what is there to manage? What is there to manage? What is there to manage? Find out about what is there to manage and some of the tools and techniques in project management. See, I mean, this is honestly, you tell me I'm not worried, okay? This is week 10. You know, this is only what? Page 2, and we're still having problem on page 2, bro, okay? What is wrong here, okay? So then after that, you talk about, despite that, you know, there is many tools available to manage project, there are still issues persisting here. And okay, so then you can talk about issues persisting. I think this is fine. In construction, projects need to finish on time within budget. Okay.
Okay.
Arrangement, arrange it, please. You know, construction project. So you don't really want to talk about issue persisting. You see, I mean, like, if your issue persisting in the whole construction industry is only about 3 paragraphs, then why you want to have a separate category for it? This is not important. Because if you talk about issue persisting, I expect you to talk about many type of issues. Okay? But you're not, you see. So don't go in and talk about issue persisting. Just talk about that. You can combine it with the
Project management.
Project management. So you need to manage time, you need to manage cost, you need to manage quality. And with all the techniques that are available to manage time, cost, quality, especially with time, there is still issues persisting. Then you talk about time issues, okay? The problems in achieving time. So yeah, I think you should combine. You should combine these 2 sections. You don't want to have a separate section on issue persisting. It's not enough. Okay. So this information, you have to combine it together with what is project management, what is project management, what does it do, you know, it's what is the aim of project management, which you have here. Okay, it's the construction industry that you want to finish the project, you know. For project management, you want to finish the project needs to be finished on time, you know. So it's a I don't talk about project manager. I'm getting very irritated with the word project manager. Project management is project management. So, okay, so it is complex task undertaken, okay, by the project management. You know, project management itself needs to manage time, budget. This is the aim of what you need to do, you see?
Okay.
Right, so this is leading to project delays. So then we talk about project delays later on.
Yeah.
Okay, so then in project management, you can talk about how you know, you need, after you talk about this time, cost, quality, then you talk about different project management in terms of time, in terms of cost, in terms of quality. Just mention them, and then you know, zero in on time, you know, time management. So issues with times, talk about time management more. Or you don't talk about cost and quality is fine. Just talk about you need to manage the time, cost, quality. And one of the essential things is to manage time. And what is time management? Time management is coming up with a schedule. What is a schedule, you know?
Okay.
What is a schedule? You need to talk about that. Finish talking about that. It's 2.2 should be time project management. Okay, so maybe 2.1, you have time management. Okay, what is the schedule? What are the tools and techniques for scheduling, you know?
Okay.
And
like the Gantt chart, WBS, all that.
yeah. And then issues with time management, issues with time and time management. And then this is the part that you will start to lead and talk about delays already. So you move in and say, okay, the following section will describe, after you talk about delays, you know, what is delays? Project delays, not on time. So these sort of things will actually lead you to talk about the next section, project delays. So then your next section will start to make sense. So in order to achieve time, and the time is not being is when the project is not being delivered, within a time frame, we're actually having delay. So the following section describe delay in more detail. You see?
Okay.
So this is project delay. This is project delay. Okay, this is talking about delays. Okay, factors causing delays and all that. Okay, so so there are seen that many delays are caused by many things, and further explain of delay occurrence, and furthermore, causes of project delays are basically sources of risk happening. Okay, this part looks good. Okay, so then so 2.3, so this will be project delay and sources of risk. So your 2.3 is project delay, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
2.3.1 will be sources of time risk. These are sources of time risk. Causes of delays. So here you haven't end up properly yet. Where are your summaries? So why from project time risk you talk about project risk, you see? Like there must be a link there. What do you think? These are the reason for delays, right?
Yes. The risk that causes delay. Like that, doctor.
Just talk about, I think here you better use the word causes of delays. Okay. So
Okay,
then you need to describe this a little bit. What are the causes of delays? Okay. And then talk about one, point form, labor, shortage, default, and what are the other causes of, don't talk about time risk first, just talk about other factors contributing to delays, okay?
Okay.
And then here you end up saying that the above factors, the above are some of the factors that causes delays, okay?
Okay.
And these factors that causes delays are in new projects, they are considered as
Risk.
yes, in new projects, they
Yes.
are considered as risk related to time. Okay.
Okay.
And then now the following section will describe what is
project risk?
yes, what is project risk. So project risk, define definition of project risk, okay? And then risk management and how you should do risk management. I think this is fine. Okay, risk management processes and risk management. These are general risk management processes. I think that's fine. Transfer. Okay, and then this is the part that is we're going to combine the three. Okay. Okay, I mean, like it's looking good here. The back bit is okay. So now you're trying to combine like risk management and project scheduling, right? So
Yes.
just put about risk management in project scheduling.
Okay.
What should you talk about here? I mean, like yeah, the importance of incorporating. I think it's more on how you say how we can say that.
How risk management helps project schedule.
Yeah. So you need to point out to us that in order to better managed delays and time related risk, it is important or it is critical to carry out risk
management.
Yeah. So then you talk about importance, importance of risk management in project scheduling. I mean, like, try to find articles that are related to it, okay? Here, the things that you are writing are not very combining these two, you see? Like combining the importance of risk management in project scheduling and what kind of benefits can it bring, and advantages can it bring. And then this needs improvement. 2.6 needs improvement, but it's not too bad. I mean, it's here the things that you're writing is a bit too general about risk. It doesn't sort of like combine these two together and talk about the importance of it, you see. So yeah, you need to keep on highlight now the word risk management and time management has to be together now, okay? Because
Okay.
here you have to covering them already. If you don't covering them, then the next section will not make sense anymore. Okay. So the benefits and any articles, any journals or articles that talk about possibility of carrying out possibilities of carrying out risk management in project scheduling. Risk management or risk analysis for project during project scheduling, So this is the part that you want to explore whether it is possible, what are the advantages that it will bring, and it's about combining risk and project scheduling. Okay, during project scheduling, is it possible to include risk analysis? Is there anything that has been done before this? Like they talk about the advantages of reducing risk, reducing delays because of risk analysis. Like we need to find proof that it is good, it is good for the project, you see. So this one here, I think I need you to look into this again. And then the previous research, this is the part that after you talk about how good it is and how wonderful it is and how it is possible and previous research has done it before, and then how do they do it, you see. So how many articles do you have? Go and Raman. Sabia. You have a few articles, but this one, the writing is not like this. This one, the writing is, let's say, if you talk about Go and Raman, they identify the dangers of 2 questionnaire surveys, but this is not time. Is it time? Doing time?
Not so time.
Yeah, you need to find article of how people try to combine.
Does it need to be in Malaysia, Doctor?
No, it can be all over the world.
Okay.
Probably all over the world.
Okay, Doctor. Because I was searching for Malaysia related for this one.
Okay. So here after your 2.6, you can actually it is 2.6 or 2.5. I don't know how maybe this is maybe about 2.6. Yeah, 2.6 already. So 2.7 after your 2.6, if you write it properly, you could actually see that that is your problem statement already, because you're trying to tell us that it's important to combine them, you see, from all the literature above. And then now it's like how you want to combine them. If you don't do this section well, like if we don't find like 4 or 5 articles on combining time risk, the study of time risk with risk management methods, or you can look for articles that combine project scheduling with risk management, or combining the study of risk with time. You know, all these are related.
I do have one there, through the third paragraph. Up there, the third one. This one.
Yeah, but this is not an article. I mean, like I need you to talk about that article, their technique, their study. So with this previous research, same goes with Anisa's. You need to talk about, you need to intro the study. Okay, like I would say about 5 articles that combines your topic, that that is related to your topic. So intro the study, who carried the study, in which year, they do what studies, and then you look into the methods, their methods. So in every studies, you should have about 1 page, their methods, okay, and then their results. Okay, so study 1, Go and Raman worked on this study, this, they have carried out what studies all over Malaysia or all over Indonesia or whatever. The method that they use for data collections are as follows, the formula that they use are as follows, and then their results indicate what, so about 1 page per research, okay? And then from this, you will start to get an idea of how you want to do your own research. You understand?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, huh? So I think this one will end the sessions. I think, right, so your main problem now is the
early part.
Early part and then the last part, okay?
Okay. So my previous research, I need to like do more detail about time risk.
Not time risk like as in
risk management, that assessing risk, time risk.
Not really. I don't want you to concentrate on time risk. It's more how to combine risk management into project scheduling.
Okay, project scheduling.
Yeah. So doing time risk and also study of time risk is only like maybe one of the research is fine. That is for risk identification. You see, your risk management has identification, analysis, measurement, and then response review. So the risk management is so big, How do you apply this into project scheduling?
Okay, doctor.
The idea is not about looking for time risk. This is not a risk, like study of time risk project.
Okay.
Okay. This is a project to combine risk management with project scheduling. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I think please work on it. And since we are in week 10 now, I only have about, if you do your previous research really well, you could actually write your methodology easily already, because you can borrow from some of the methods, some of the formulas, and then you can combine into your own methodology of how you want to approach your studies, you see. So
Okay.
this one here, I would say, when is your presentation? Did they tell you?
I'm not sure, doctor.
Anissa, have any idea?
Not sure as well.
Okay. But all I know is you only got a month. Okay. I think the maximum I can only give you is you need to show this to me by middle of next week.
Okay.
Oh no, this is 1 week. I think end of next week. So end of week 11. Yeah, you need to show it to me. Yes, end of week 11, a Sunday, and then we'll meet again on Tuesday or Monday or Wednesday, either day. Okay. And
Okay.
then after that, after that, no matter what you have, if it's still as messy as ever, I can't do anything anymore. All I need to do is to get you to proceed to do your chapter 1 and 3 already. Okay, with whatever information you have to die out of chapter 1 and 3 already. Okay.
Okay, doctor.
So the final chance of getting this literature review to the right amount is about, I would say, from the look of it, would be about 35 pages for you, Hood, after you rearrange everything nicely. Okay.
Okay.
And then if it's a good flow and everything is good, then even if it's not good, I will have to still proceed to getting you to just maybe to advise a little bit more, and then you have to proceed to your chapter 3 and 1 already. Because
Okay.
I think we need to get this finished before January, before the final week of January lah. Maybe the final week of January is just maybe some sort of sessions with you all to do a bit of amendments, like corrections. That's all. So
Okay, doctor.
I have to mark it according to whatever you have already. Okay. So this is your last chance. This 1.5 week is your last chance. Please focus on this and get this going as soon as possible. Okay.
Okay, doctor.
To really clean it up. I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, now I would say, with this sort of literature review, if you give me a fair enough introduction and, based on whatever I have here, you definitely can pass, but then I wouldn't foresee you getting more than a 60. I wouldn't give you more than a 60, okay? So, yeah, so it's better for you to really take this 1.5 weeks so that you can clean it up. Because if you clean it up well, it will make a difference in when you write your methodology and when you write your introduction. So when you write your introduction, when all these things are ready, the definition, everything is nice, time management, what is time management, what is time, if all these things are nice and clean and all that, it's very easy for you to write your chapter 1 and chapter 2
Okay.
and 3. It will only take you 2 weeks maximum. 1 week to write 1 chapter. That's it. So that's why week 12, I need you to write time, the definition, aim, and objective problem statement. It also comes from literature reviews. You see, it's not
Okay.
a separate thing. It's about taking the information that you have in your literature review in section 2.6. You can do your chapter 1 and 2.7 if you have 5 or 6 or 8, even 8 research project that is done elsewhere that is related to your work, and then you borrow some of the method. So it will take you another week just to write your methodology. You see?
Okay.
So I foresee the completion of everything by week 13, and you must give me a clean report to read by week 14.
Okay, doctor.
Okay? Right. So
Yes.
that's it for Hood. Okay, I'll move on to Elisa.
Doctor.
Yeah?
I want to ask about our meeting log. Do we need to insert our meeting before the semester start?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, doctor.
Every time I email you back, I give you a link and all that. So I think that will just put it in your meeting log.
Okay, doctor.
So definitely we have been meeting more than 7, 8 times a week.
Okay.
So
Okay, thank you, doctor.
just put everything, whatever date that you started looking for me, and then all the way up to now, even, and then the next week and the next week, so everything, I think we will have about 10, at least 10 meeting sessions.
Okay, doctor.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
You just digest whatever I say to you, Hood, and then if you have any question, you can ask me after I am finished with what I'm saying. Okay.
Okay, doctor.
Lisa, I hope yours is a bit better than Hood. Okay. So you're talking about Malaysian construction industry. There's contributing to the GDP, aggressively conducting projects. Okay, this is good. The flow of it is good. With the construction techniques. Yeah. Where is your referencing? Suddenly, I have a few paragraphs have no referencing.
Yeah, I forgot to insert.
Yeah, referencing as well. Then, okay, yeah. I think it's acceptable. The flow here is acceptable. So you move in and talk about type of construction method. And this is Hadil ETAL, huh?
Oh yeah.
This one here, I mean, like, I thought up to here, competition, to rethink their productivity. We started to get a bit lost here, you see. I mean, why are we suddenly going into so much problems here, you see?
Oh. I thought I can just list down all the problems that is available.
Yeah, I mean, like, felt like, you actually, all the thing is flowing quite nicely, and then, so industry productive and efficient to satisfy the local market needs. And so the industry is more progressive, modernized, equipped, giving techniques, So we're talking about this. I mean, here is like, macam I'm feeling that you're starting to want to talk about IBS already, and then you pump and talk about other things suddenly, you see.
Yeah.
Slow the industry progresses. This paragraph, I really don't know. I don't really see much point. Okay. I don't really see much point. I don't see how that is related to your work, you see. Like your story, your story is starting to get hit up, up to somewhere here, I mean, you could probably, because I want to see the word productivity, efficiencies, that kind of thing. That we are
Mhm.
lacking of the efficiencies, and that will actually create what sort of problems, that's fine. But then suddenly you jump to it being fragmented, and then how in terms of project awarding, subcontracting, design, these are really unnecessary because we really don't know why you want to talk about this, and then it doesn't join at all with your work.
Mhm.
Maybe let's take it out. So this bit here also I think is okay because we're talking about low productivity due to the technological adoptions, you see. Then we are characterized by the labor, using the labor. And all these are actually leading up to talking about
Yes.
IBS. Yeah. I think this bit here, you probably need to just reorganize them a little bit, just to finish talking about one issue, if it's low productivity or talking about productivity, then we group them all together. It's about productivity. Then we have low productivity, the reason for low productivity. Then you talk about all the reason for low productivity. And then another issue is labor and intensive of using of labor. So I think you need to I feel you need to reorganize this section now. It's not like the informations are not right, but it's a matter of now we're going to go into IBS, you see. So we want to point out the problems first, you see. Yeah. So I think this bit that I highlight in red, you need to kind of reorganize them into like their own separate problems, you see, like that contributes to the use of IBS, you see. So it's like I want to see like, okay, low productivity, and then what is low productivity? Is Malaysia really having low productivity? And then what is the causes for low productivity? And this leads to what? You see, this leads to the usage of more technically advanced kind of method, or less labor dependence, And then you talk about labor, you talk about how we are getting a lot of foreign laborers, and how the laborers are not is labor intensive, and we don't have enough people to do the work, you see. And then that will again add, like it's like if you draw a cartoon here, so you have your first frame that you show about this problem, and then you got the second frame with this problem, the third frame with this problem, but you finish talking about that problem, each one of them in their own separate paragraphs, or few paragraphs, and then of this will point, like there's an arrow that points towards the use of modern techniques, you see? Yeah. So this is, I feel like it's very mumbo jumbo here, like a bit here, a bit there, a bit here, a bit. And I know you're trying to bring towards that IBS thing, but it's like if let's say these two paragraphs is about labor, then after you finish talking about these two paragraphs, in your own head, in my head and in your head, there should be a, like, this is talking about going towards IBS, you see? Yeah, and then the next two paragraphs, it may be talking about separate issue, but the end of that two paragraph, again, it should give me that she's trying to go to that label, you see? And then what, you see? And then you put them all together into the final paragraph whereby, we need to reduce method, blah, 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 and then, the main goal of IBS, you see? And then baru start into IBS. Right? You understand?
Yeah.
So it's the messiness of you are addressing a lot of, I can see that it's good because you're really trying to drive in the importance of IBS, you see? And then leading us and bringing your audience towards that. So it's just that if you're watching a drama, first episode, and you already talk about something. Second episode, you talk about something. And third episode, that is a part that you go like, oh, now I know why she talks about the first episode and the second episode. Now I know the story is leading to that, okay? So you must talk about episode by episode. You don't want to go like a bit of episode 1, a bit of episode 2, and then you mix, and then I go like, and like my head just swing, and then I get lost, you see. So I want you to be first episode, okay, there is a murder, you see, there is a murder going on. Second episode, there's all the character coming together. Or third episode, now I know they're all going to solve the mystery together, kind of thing. You understand what I'm trying to get at here, huh? Yeah? Sure. You don't, yeah. And then later on, just...
I know. So like one issue, because I think it's like I talk about this issue and then another issue, then come back to the previous issue again.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you just do that, and then towards the end, I need you to like having something like this to bring into talking about IBS, So this is IBS. What is IBS? The description of IBS. What's the advantages of IBS? So you talk about development of IBS, it's fine, benefits of IBS. So these are all very common information. As long as you do proper latest kind of referencing, I think these sort of sections usually have not much problems, okay? So this is the part that you want to talk about the advantages and why it is not being adopted, is it? Disadvantage?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you move into talking about IBS procurement. So what is procurement? So before you jump 2.4.4, describe something here, okay? Describe something here.
Oh,
You know, IBS needs proper procurement method, and before that we can define what is procurement, you know? What this
alright.
section is going to be about, huh?
Oh, okay. Doctor, I want to ask, on page 15, can you go to page 15? There's like this, page 15, compelling. That one. Yang the standard procurement, the point that I'm at, do you think it's better if I cancel it out? Because I don't really talk about this thing on this section.
If this is a very general thing you talk about in terms of definition, you can just leave it there.
Yes. Oh, okay.
I'm just curious about what you're talking about in IBS procurement. What did you find out here? Also a bit lacking in terms of referencing, no?
Mm,
What are all you referencing?
I think I lost it.
So you didn't really find anything that is very specifically talking about
Tendering, not really. And then even for procurement, their problem is not more like contract or tendering. There's like design build that they describe like each processes, and then from there the problem is like the lack integration, and then like time management on that kind of processes in that processes lah.
Yeah, I mean, I think they are all useful information. I mean, it's just a matter of how we want to twist it to our advantage, sort of things, you know.
That's why I also struggle how to like to put it.
Mm. You need to point out to us that the main thing is like the section 4 2.4.1 2.4.1 is just very definition now, so that is not too much of an issue. Okay? Then the procurement process in IBS. It's fine just to describe, don't talk about the problems yet, just describe what are the typical procurement processes in IBS-based projects. You know, if it is design and build, people utilize more of design and build, then you just say that out of so many procurement method, design and build is the common method that is utilized, you see. So how do they apply that into design? How do they apply that into IBS, you see? And then tendering, then you put tendering. So this is about tendering. So if it's tendering, then you put it under tendering law. Okay. So
Oh, I thought we need to like make it flow so that
that's fine.
it
Or you can just end the section, end it here, and then talk about it in the next section will be describing the tendering procedures. So procurement method is a method. Method means that you're talking about here would be things like they're using design and build, you know.
yeah.
Then what are the advantages of this in IBS? What are the disadvantages, you know, if this procurement method? Why people choose to use this in IBS constructions, you see? So
Yeah.
then the following sections talk about the tendering procedures for IBS projects. Okay. So then that will flow better. So then you talk about tendering processes and you are repeating. You're actually repeating the two. You see this?
Yeah.
So you probably can take out one already. So this part here you need to talk about in terms of tendering, IBS tendering. How does people execute IBS tendering, you see? So do they request for information? Do they do selective tendering, or do they actually go for open tender with requests for maybe it's open tender requesting for documents, or maybe it's selective tendering whereby they will still also get proposal from the client, I mean from the contractors or from the suppliers for IBS, you know. It's more on things like that we are looking at lah, huh?
Oh, okay.
Or negotiated tenderings, but negotiated tendering, we have to all relate this to IBS.
Oh, okay.
So then the first two part is the general thing about how IBS are being procured and tendered out lah, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, so then you may want to look at this section is going to be the problems with the processes, you see.
But right now, for my previous research, it's more like procurement method. Is it okay if I don't really go for like tendering in detail?
You haven't done your previous research, is it?
Already, but it's like only three to four. But mostly on like procurement method in general. They don't really like specify on tendering. So I don't know how to really talk about it.
Yeah, but in general, if they talk about in general, you can actually still you can actually still insert tendering into it. I mean, even if just another one or two article on more on the procurement and tendering, then it may make the project a bit more solid in that sense.
Oh, understand. So far, I think I found like two, I guess. That talks about tendering.
Yeah, just
the rest all about procurement method.
Yeah. Put it in. So again,
Okay.
I've already mentioned to put this is not the right way to write, huh?
Oh yeah.
For the project, what is this project? What is this project title? You know, what is this research title? And what is it about? When is it carried out by who? You know, in which universities or whatever. And then this is their method of carrying it out, and then the result, what is seen. You know.
Okay.
So here, then, you know, some of them may be using case studies, some of them may be using interviews, you know, so these are the type of, if interviews, what type of questions are they asking? If we talk about case studies, what sort of parameters are they studying, you know?
Yeah.
Then that will help you to do your literature review. I mean, that will help you to do your methodology. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I think you just have to gear this part, especially 2.4. You need to gear it towards IBS, you know, like These are the procedures and these are the problems associated with certain methods of procurement or certain method of tendering, you see. Okay, you understand, Anissa?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that your 2.4 is not problematic. I mean, it's not, I mean, like, honestly, it's not highly problematic, okay? I would think you can actually, the definition of procurement can probably expand for another half a page, just to fill this one up first, okay? And then when you move into procurement processes in IBS-based project, it has to be more focused on, okay, this is the type of, if that's a traditional, so has it been applied to IBS project? And when it's applied, how is it applied? You see, what are the processes involved? And then what are the problems associated with it? Okay, the problems associated with it, you can write it first, and then later on you shift it down to your problems. You see.
Okay.
If not, then you just talk about, okay, let's say traditional procurement method, in IBS, in traditional procurement method, when it's applied to IBS project, this is how it's being applied. Just the overall of how it's being applied. Okay. If design and build, then how is it being applied into IBS project? Can you find articles like that?
Yeah, I think I found one.
Yeah. So just talk about that generally, how is it being applied, you know, and then tendering, open tenders, likely tendering, how is it being applied in IBS project? We're just talking about the application and the processes of application and the procedures of applications in these two sections, okay? Try to find more articles, okay? Try to find another one or two more articles, okay? Because I want to make it a bit more robust. Okay, it's there, but it is sufficient. But if you want it to be really good, then you have to be a bit more robust. And then this section on problems associated with the procurement processes, or the tendering processes, the loopholes, the bad things, you know, it has to be from here. Okay. Right. So with previous research, the methods and all this, I think this one may be a bit more better if you put it in the next section. Here, you better summarize. What you need to summarize is the good and the bad of applying what sort of methods. If you can do 2.4.2, 2.4.3, at the end of that, you do a table that summarizes the literature from above, saying that if design and build, these are the good things, these are the bad things. If traditional general contracting for IBS, these are the good things, these are the bad things, these are the procedures, then it's very good. I mean, like, you can just summarize it like in a table. That would be nice, okay? To end your section. No, the good thing, bad things, I think you leave it to problems, but the methods that has been used to apply to IBS. Okay, so you can just talk about that, you know. Like, whichever article says that traditional general contracting has been applied to IBS projects, you know, with what kind of outcomes, you know, and then just a summary of that, you know, tendering procedures, the procurement process versus IBS. Huh?
Understand?
That one will be like, if you want to do a table, that would be what you need to do. But if you talk about problems, if this section is about problems, okay, if this section is about problems, then you need to list down what are the problems. Okay.
Do I need to like explain more about the problem once I list it down? Like each one of the problem, do I need to talk about it?
A summary. When you talk about the problem, it has to be in paragraph. So this section will essentially be when you apply, let's say Jale or whatever, when you apply traditional general contracting, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, what are the problems? You see?
Oh, on the table, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
not like this. This is more on previous research. You see, you yourself already write the word previous research.
Mm.
Yeah. So maybe if you want, you can shift this table to previous research, and you can do another 2 table, 1 table about the procurement processes of IBS. Okay. Hello, Anissa.
Yeah.
Okay. So after you finish section 2.4.2 and 2.4.3, you've already talked about enough on IBS procurement processes, including tendering. Okay. Do a summary table for that, meaning that you can list down the different part, of the procurement processes. Say if it's if it's traditional general contracting, you just list down what are the processes involved in traditional general contracting. Okay, tendering, open, selective. This is one table to cover the 2 sections.
Understand?
And the second table will be all related to advantages and disadvantages of using different methods.
Mm.
And for the problem part, you want to write about the problem,
Mm. Yeah.
It's not good, it's good, this method is better, this method is not so good, why,
But isn't it focusing on more to like procurement process instead of tendering if I do it like that?
No, I think you should do procurement processes including tendering.
Oh, okay.
Don't split up that way. Just the procurement
Okay.
including tendering. So your procurement process will end in tendering.
Mm.
Okay.
Understand. Yeah.
Sufficient enough for you to do your FYP. I mean, if you want to proceed this with master's level later on, I would definitely ask you to do things contract, the contract elements and all that. I think this time we just look at the procurement processes, how they start off from selecting the contract. I mean, how they start off with the selection and method all the way to the tendering method.
Yeah. Even contract pun I also saw the problem there.
Yeah.
Even...
So that one I think better not include here. If we include here, it's too big for you. So I mean, if you have 4 procurement processes for IBS, I think it's worth it to do a master's for it, or even a master's work kind of RP project.
Mm-hmm. Okay, understand.
Definitely, your project is very much expandable into later on if you're interested. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay, so I think again, same deadline as Wood, you need to get this all cleaned up by next week, including the previous research.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. By end of next week, I really want to see a good work from you all, because after we've been working on it for at least 3 months now, and if you can't get an A or can't get an A- for it, I think it's very sad. Okay. And
Yeah.
it will really mean that by the end of next week, whatever I've spoken to you, you need to rearrange this properly and put in all the relevant information, and it's good to go. And I can say go ahead now with chapter 1 and 3, you see.
Okay.
Any more questions from the 2 of you?
I think no from me.
So you understand what I want, Anissa?
Yeah.
From me also, no.
Okay, very good. So I'll see you again in 2 weeks time, but I need you to hand it in to me by the end of week 11. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Again, like I said, this is make it or break it deal by next Wednesday, by next week. Okay. Because why? Even if you don't give me what I want exactly, I will still get you to proceed already, because I need to pass you see. So whether pass with good, medium or high, you see, that is a difference already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So no matter what, with the amount of work that you do, even though it's a huge mess, I will still get you to proceed with 1 and 3, you see. So but then you will struggle a lot more in 1 and 3 if your messiness is not resolved in your chapter 2, you see.
Yeah.
Right?
Understand?
Okay, then see you guys. I'll expect this report
Tomorrow.
by after Christmas, 26th of December. Okay.
All right.
All right, Doctor.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Doctor. Goodbye. Have a good day, Doctor.
Me too. See you.